And let's see, cooking, right? So we're cooking on a wood cook stove. We started off with a Baker Choice wood cook stove. We keyed about 600 square feet plus the upstairs. So it was an adequate stove. If you guys are looking at this kind of stuff and you're thinking about it, Baker Choice makes a very nice stove, and we use it. But the problem with her was that she likes to bake too, so it was hard to use the bake box on it. You know, you can't get a regular size cookie sheet in there and stuff. So, but we had that stove for 7 years, right? And then a couple from Kentucky drove all the way to our house and picked it up.
And then I moved up to the Pioneer Princess.
Aww.
And I'm very happy with my Pioneer Princess.
Yeah.
Because for cleaning it and the front of it, if anybody is interested in getting a stove like that, come and see me afterwards, and I can tell you in detail more things about.
And one of the major differences between the two, if you guys are looking at this kind of stuff, is the Baker Choice has 2 knobs on the side, and that was what affects the airflow. So the air comes in the side where the firebox is, hits the fire, takes that hot air and circulates it around the oven area. But they're a little tricky. It took her a while to kind of get that figured out. I had to eat plenty of burned baked goods. So, but with the Pioneer Princess, with a little newer technology, they were able to just turn this dial and like you could put it on 350 and it like is at 350 for like a couple of hours or an hour or something.
Yeah, there's ways you could do the airflow where it would be turned off, and then if you think of an oven, then it would, if you go to the center, it'd be 350 and go all the way up, it'd be like 550 if you were baking. Yeah. So I know I can bake exactly what that temperature is, and it works great. And then
so because we had the wood cook stove, that means lots of wood harvesting, right? And I grew up harvesting wood. Not. Yeah. So all of a sudden now, you know, I had a lawn care landscape business. We did tree removal. I had cut down plenty of trees and all that stuff, but I'd never followed that all the way through to actually splitting, stacking. You know, I had to learn all that stuff, the best way to stack wood, you know, south facing, north facing, so you get the heat of this day and the way the wind blows. I mean, a lot of stuff goes into like drying that wood. And so then I became like, you know, the harvester of the wood and cutting down trees. And that's more 1800 style. When I had the team of Belgians, I would actually hook them. We had some friends, some city friends come up, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to see the team pull out a log from the forest? I had just cut down some hickories. And some of them, I mean, they were like pretty beefy, and they were probably like, I don't know what this is, maybe 15 or 20 feet long, 18, 20, 25 feet long, and they were pretty meaty. And she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to see it. I said, oh, you want to see it. So I hooked up the team, and I brought them over, and I chained up that log, and man, we rolled that thing out of the forest, and I think her face hit the ground. She was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it was like he was pulling a toothpick.
Yeah, she just loved it. So she was like, man, I've never seen nothing like that before. So I did that quite a bit too, learning the team. I like talking about that because I think that was one of the neatest experiences so far because I'd never had any experience with that. And like when you're in Amish country, like you'll be going down the street and there'll be like an 8-year-old behind 4 massive Belgians. And he's just like walking down the street like it's nobody's business, you know? And for us, you know, to learn that at our age was, I think, a pretty good achievement.
That's right.
Yeah. So we harvest our own wood, and crosscut. Yeah, I've used a crosscut. Yeah, but I do like a steel crosscut. I do like a steel crosscut. Man, I ain't 25. All right, so we harvest our wood. Okay, now we'll go on to the. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about the water situation. So we collect 3,000 gallons of water. In a building, I bet it's
as big as
maybe
this.
About as big as this. It is about
maybe
as big as this.
Maybe a little smaller, yeah.
So we got that all figured out, and then I trenched it all in, and then we collect that water. And I also put up 2 lawn hydrants so we could feed and water our livestock. We have sheep that we rotate on paddocks, and all that water is gravity fed. I mean, like you look at it and you're like, wow. And when I have friends come over that have wells and well pumps and stuff, and I open that thing up, they could almost swear I had a pump on, like a well pump. And I'm like, no, it's all gravity fed. So before, like we were talking about the garden, we were literally pumping water out of our pond, trying to water everybody. Every building now on our property, except for our house because we have shingled roof right now, but when we switch over to 10, we'll be collecting water there. But every building on our property is self-sufficient as far as it collects water and waters our livestock.
Yeah, he made like a big platform. It's a few feet off the ground, and we have a 500-gallon cistern tote there for just specifically for the garden.
Right.
And then he just did that like
Right.
last week.
There's even a hydrant in the garden. So my thought process was the way I built it was with the slant, so that way it could harvest its own water, so we can use that, and then keep our 3,000 gallons mostly for our house and for those kind of needs. So that was the idea behind that, and it's working out great. It's going to be great, and I'm great. You're awesome. No, yeah, that's Richard the Awesome. He has a YouTube channel. He was actually on Homestead Rescue. They came out and they did a show with him. And if you guys haven't seen that, or you can check out his YouTube channel and catch him walking around.